Hey guys, today we are going to finally start actually graphing and putting everything we've been doing for a couple of weeks together. So we are on pages 13 through 15, so 13, 14, and 15 today. And this is all we're going to do today is just to take notes and watch the video. So go ahead and get those pages out. Okay, so we are now ready we've learned everything and we are now ready to graph equations that are in slope-intercept form. Okay, so just a reminder, slope-intercept form is that very awesome equation, y equals mx plus b. So now we're going to be given equations and we have to now graph them. Okay, so there are two steps. Okay, so first thing we are going to do is we are going to plot the y-intercept. Okay, and we see that y-intercept with our b value. Okay, so to plot that, we will plot 0, comma b, or we will basically just plot that value on the y-axis. Okay, after we have plotted the y-intercept, we will plot additional points with our slope. Okay, which is our m value. Okay, again, a slope is the rise and the run to an equation. It gives us steepness, and so we can plot additional points if we know what the steepness is. So we will look at our numerator to determine the rise. Okay, so we can rise up if it is a positive value, or we will kind of drop down if it is a negative value. And then if our denominator is positive, we will run to the right. And then if our denominator is a negative value, we will run to the left. Okay, so the way I remember it, and this is just silly, it kind of works, okay? So you always have to begin, okay? And you will begin with your b. You always have to begin with your b, okay? After you have began, you can then move. And the way you will move is with your m. So you got to begin, and then you have to move. Okay, so that's my kind of way that I remember it. Okay, so with the first couple problems, I have the equation, we're going to identify the slope and the y-intercept, and then we'll put it all together. Okay, and then on the back, we'll kind of not have as much, but you can still write it. Okay, so this first equation, we have y equals negative 2x plus 1. Okay, so it is in slope-intercept form, which is awesome. So first we need to be able to identify the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so the slope is the m value, okay, and the y-intercept is our b value. So our m value is negative 2, okay. Remember that slope is a ratio, so if we don't have a ratio, if we have like a whole number, we have a denominator of a positive 1. Okay, so if I think about how I'm going to be moving, my numerator is my rise. So if it's a negative 2, I'm going to go down 2. And then if my denominator is a positive 1, I'm going to go to the right 1. Okay. Alternately, you could, we'll do this in a second, how to go backwards. So we'll talk about that in a second. So then the other one is our b value, which is 1. Okay, as an ordered pair, this would be 0, comma 1. So after we have identified that and we are ready to go, we can just pick up our pencil. We always have to begin with our b value. So we're going to first plot the y-intercept. Again, this is our y-axis. So we are going to plot 1 on our y-axis, or you could just plot 0, 1, however you like to think about it. Okay. Then we're going to keep our pencil right here, and we are going to plot additional points using our slope or our rate of change. So our slope is down 2, right 1. So I'm going to go down 2 from my beginning. Here's my beginning. Go down 2, right 1. Plot a point. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. And I'm going to keep doing that until I basically can't anymore. Okay, so I have drawn about half of the line. Okay, to figure out the other direction, okay, instead of going down right to get up here, instead of going down, we'll go up, and instead of going right, we will go left. Okay, so we will now go up to left 1, which still means a negative, up to left 1, up to left 1, and just continue to do it all the way across. Okay, then you're just going to draw the best line that you can, and we're going to put arrows at both ends, and we just graphed our first line. That's it. Okay, our next equation is y equals x plus 4. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's in slope-intercept form, and it looks like it is. Okay. All right, now I'm just going to identify. Okay, m is the number in front of the x. So I don't see a value, so I'm going to make an invisible 1. Okay, so the slope of this line is 1. Okay, this is a whole number, so to make it a ratio, we're going to make it a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so the movement I'm going to make, this is my rise, so I'm going to go up 1, and then I'm going to go right 1. Okay, positive 1, up, right, okay? My b value is my beginning, so I have begin at 4, or as an ordered pair, that is 0, 4. Okay, after we've identified, we are ready to graph this. So we are going to begin on our y-axis. So we are going to begin at 4, or you can just plot 0, 4. Okay, so now I put my pencil where I'm beginning, and now I'm going to use my slope to plot more points. I'm going to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. And I'm just going to keep following that pattern all across the entire graph. Okay. To get the other half of the graph, I'm just going to follow the pattern backwards. So instead of going up and right, I'm going to go down and left. Okay, so again, I'm going to start at the beginning, and I'm going to go down left, because this would create a double negative, which is still a positive slope. And I'm just going to keep following the same pattern all the way across, and then I can create the best line that I can, and again, put arrows at either end. And we just graphed our second one. Go us. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next page, which is on page 14. Okay, this one is the last one that kind of has the m and the b as a line. We'll still do the same exact thing, but okay. So y equals 2/3 x minus 5. Y equals mx plus b. It looks like it is ready to be graphed. Okay. My slope, my m value is a 2-to-3 ratio. It's already a ratio, so I could just stop. I don't need to make it a ratio. It's already that. So this is my rise up 2, right 3. Okay. My b value is the extra added number, so I see a -5. So this means I'm going to begin at a -5, or 0, -5. Okay. After I've determined what those values are, I'm ready to graph it. I'm going to begin before I move. So I'm going to begin at -5, y-axis, 0, -5. Okay, put my pencil where I'm going to begin, and I'm going to use my slope to plot more points. My ratio is up 2, right 3, up 2, right 3. Okay, up 2, can't really go right 3. I'm just going to use my imagination. Okay. Now to get the other half of the graph, I'm just going to follow the pattern backwards. So instead of going up right, I'm going to go down left. Okay, so we'll start at the beginning again, go down 2, left 3, down 2, left 3, down 2, left 3. And I have created this beautiful line. All right, so this next equation, okay, hopefully we notice that something is weird about it. We actually cannot graph this quite yet, okay? And that is because it does not look like y equals mx plus b. Okay, so if it does not look like y equals mx plus b, we're going to have to manipulate it and figure out how to put it into that form. Okay, basically what we're going to do is we are going to be solving for our y value. Okay, we need to get y isolated because the equation is always y equals, so we need to isolate the y value. Okay, so this is just like solving an equation. Okay. So I need to move this -2x. The opposite of a -2x is a +2x. So I do that to both sides. Negative 2x, positive 2x is a 0x. So I have just my y value. 8 plus 2x, these are not like terms. So 8 plus 2x, that's my math problem. That's all I have. I cannot put those together because they are not like. Okay. So now it looks like y equals, so I'm very, very happy. I like to rewrite it just so it looks better for me, 2x plus 8. So then when I determine the slope and the y-intercept, I'm not confused at all. Okay. So my slope is the m value, which is 2, or since this is a ratio, we are going to make it a ratio by putting it over 1, 2 to 1. So I'm going to go up 2, right 1. Okay. Before I can go up to right 1, I have to begin, and my b value is 8. As an ordered pair, that would be 0, 8. All right, so first I am going to go ahead and begin. So here's my y-axis. I'm going to plot 0, 8. Okay. All right, now I am going to put my pencil on the y-intercept, and I am going to use my slope to plot more. I'm going to go up 2, right 1. Okay, I can't do it again, so I need to make sure I definitely go backwards in the pattern. Okay, if you don't need to write down the backwards pattern, that's fine. Instead of going up right, we're going to go down left. Okay, so go back to the beginning, go down left, down to left 1, down to left 1. And we have created our beautiful line. Okay. Now this problem, y plus 2/3 x equals -3, looks like it's almost graphable, okay? But I need to make sure, again, it's y equals mx plus b. So the x and the y cannot be on the same side, okay? So I need to get y all by itself. The way I'm going to do that is get rid of the 2/3 x. Okay, this is a positive 2/3 x, so to move it over to the other side, I'm going to use a negative 2/3 x. Okay, I'm going to make sure I write it on the other side. Okay, a positive and a negative would make a 0. Okay, these are not like terms. This is a regular number. This has an x. Okay, so all I did was just write -3 and then the minus the 2/3 x. Okay, you could rewrite it as negative 2/3 x minus 3. That is technically the same exact thing. It's totally your preference and what you like, as long as you can identify that the slope is the number attached to the x, so the -2/3, okay, and that the b value is the extra added number. So in this case, it would be the -3. Okay? After we've identified them, you can go ahead and start to graph this. So we're going to begin at -3. Okay, so 0, -3. Okay. My slope is -2/3. Okay, so I'm going to go down 2 because the rise is -2, and then I'm going to go right 3 because the run is a +3. Okay, so I'm going to begin. I'm going to go down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to the beginning and follow the pattern backwards. So instead of going down right, I'm going to go up left. Up to left 3, up to left 3. Again, I'm still just following the same pattern. I'm still creating that line all the way across. Okay, we're going to do 2 more. Okay, these ones are the hardest ones. If you guys can do this, you guys are going to be set. Okay, 3x plus 4y equaling -4. This does not look anything like y equals mx plus b. So we're going to have to do some solving. Okay, so my goal is to get y all by itself. Okay, the first thing I need to do is I see a 4, I see a 3x. I need to get the 3x first. Okay, this is a positive 3x, so I'll move it with a -3x. Okay, this would make a 0, so I still have 4 y's. Okay, these are not like terms, so I have -4, and then I took away 3 x's. Okay, now I have this 4, and I need the 4 to disappear, so I'm going to divide by 4. divide by 4, divide by 4. Again, I'm making sure that I divide everything by 4. Okay, 4 over 4 is a 1y. Okay, then we have negative 4 over 4, which is negative 1. Okay, and then we have negative 3x divided by 4, which again, this is our slope. So if we can't simplify, this is a negative 3 to 4 ratio. It's the same thing. Okay, and then we can just put a little x by it. Okay, you could rewrite it negative 3 to 4 x, and then minus that 1. So I just basically flip-flopped it so it looked like mx plus b. But again, if you can identify it without doing that, go for it. Okay, so the slope is a negative 3 to 4 ratio. Okay, so down 3, right 4. Okay, and then our beginning value is this b value, which is negative 1. So we need to begin first. So we're going to start at 0, negative 1 on the y-axis. And then there, I'm going to go down 3, right 4, down 3, right 4, down 3. I'll just kind of guess that one's the last 4. Okay. Then I'm going to go backwards. So instead of going down right, I'm going to go up left. Okay. All right, this is the last one. 2y minus 6x equals negative 6. Again, this does not look like y equals mx plus b, so we're going to have to do some solving. So here's where the y is. I need the y to be by itself. So I see a 2. I also see a minus 6x. So I'm going to move the x first. So this is a minus or a negative 6x. So the opposite will be a positive 6x. So it looks like I'm going to do an add into it. Okay, negative 6x, positive 6x, make that 0. That's what we wanted to happen. So we have 2 y's left over. Okay, these are not likes, so I have a negative 6 that I started with, and then I added 6x to it. Okay, now I'm ready to get rid of this 2. This is multiplication, so I'm going to divide it. Okay, 2 over 2 is a 1y. Negative 6 over 2 is a negative 3. 6x divided by 2 is a positive 3. Okay. So this equation is solved for. It is 3x minus 3. Okay. So my slope is 3. Again, it needs to be a ratio, so we're going to do a 3 to 1 ratio. So I'm going to go up 1 because that's my rise value. I'm going to go up 3, and I'm going to go right 1. Okay, my b value is my beginning value, my y-intercept, so I'm going to start at negative 3 or 0, negative 3. So I'm ready to start. I'm going to begin at 0, negative 3. Okay. And now I'm going to we'll use my slope. My slope is up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1, 3, right 1, up 3, right 1. Okay, and you could put another one if you want to. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the beginning. Instead of going up right, I'm going to go down left to get the other half of the graph. And we just graphed our last line for today. All right, so tomorrow when we're in class, we're going to practice a little bit more. See you guys then.